Welcome to the Solo Too Early Sports Card Podcast. My resolution for the next 100 episodes is to write my first funny intro. That's not Kai. I'm funny in small doses. Yeah, another hurricane, another episode without Kai. Way more important that he's okay. Florida's not just at all. So, yeah, going to be one without him. You're stuck with me again. I'm sorry. I'm somewhat sorry. I'm not sorry. You know what I mean? Yeah, gonna be an interesting episode today. Don't have a ton prepared. Admittedly, was almost considering canceling this week's episode. Um, we did have Trent's giveaway. No one really seemed interested in the Bryce Young gold, which is funny. So it is what it is there. I guess we'll keep it. He'll give it to some kid, or maybe he'll use it. Maybe Trent will use it for a trade up challenge. I'll have to see and pick his brain on what to do with that card because no one wanted it. So whatever. Yeah, kind of a weird spot right now. I know I say that every couple weeks or so, but not to get too deep or anything like that. I'm in a funk. Cards are fine right now. There's nothing wrong with it. Just not feeling it. And I think that's okay to say out loud. I think that's an okay place to be in these days. Um Mostly because there's other priorities in my life and cards are taking a back burner while Speedy gets up and running, while I'm currently house hunting, while just just in one of those funks that you just admit to being in, and I think that's okay. You know, just kind of roll with the punches. It's fun to enjoy sports and not constantly be thinking about, oh, I gotta flip this card, I gotta move this. Oh no, my investment. Although the Will Levis, Mason Rudolph investment, quote unquote. I am looking forward to the day that Will Levis gets benched. Lane and I make a bunch of money on Mason Rudolph cards, and that hype cycle takes off. That'll be pretty cool. That'll pay for a lot of things. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to find my place in the sports card world. I'm looking into new avenues and new ways to kind of make it work for me. I have been at the apex of the world, quote unquote, in sports cards, dealing and trading and selling in tens of thousands of dollars of cards. And it's fun, it's profitable. I don't really get along with the people in that bracket, the personality type that you need to have to be in that consistently. And, plus the fact of I have other priorities in my life. Sports cards are great. It's given me a lot. It is not the most important thing to me. So there's sacrifices that have to be made as a result. But, eventually I'll get back there when I choose to. There's other things that occupy my day-to-day time. I think the mid to high end world is pretty healthy. There's a lot of ways to sell and trade and buy and move items. I've said this a few times. I've probably said this on the podcast a bunch too. Everyone kind of sounds and looks the same. So the main way you make yourself different is in how you treat people. I think that is a really important part of the sports card industry and the world beyond that as well. If everyone pays the same and wants the same players, you better be a pretty decent person, or you're going to fade from obscurity, or you're going to fade into obscurity unless you just have that much money and it doesn't matter. Because yeah, cash is amazing. Everyone's buying heavy, dude. Let me cash you out, bro. Give me your spreadsheets, bro. You all sound the fucking same. I'm guilty of it too, and I can acknowledge it. But if everyone's paying the same general percentage, you got to be a decent person. And I think that's pretty good. The low end world is pretty fun. I gotta admit that. Like, while my time is better off spent in higher in ventures, as Speedy Card Lister, the AI app I've been developing now for almost a year. Like, we're actually approaching a year, which is crazy. As that gets ready, that will allow me to transition some of my time not all of it, not a majority of it, some time into that process. That is where a lot of my emotional stake in the sports card world is going to go. I have fully admitted this multiple times. I'm just in this position right now where I don't care anymore. I care about the sports cards. I care about the people who I'm friends with. I don't care right now. And that's part of the funk that I'm willing to acknowledge. And I'm looking for something to give a fuck about. I don't care right now. I hope cards stay up. I hope they do. But like I don't care. Like it's really it's a weird spot to be in, you know? And I think part of that could be like I don't know, money's okay. I'm not really complaining about money. I've invested a lot into my business. That has been a big part of 2024. Cards are fine. Not really been hurt by the repackers not buying as much. You just go to eBay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just been selling and trading and whatever else. Just more priorities like a house, my wife, my job. I know I work a normal job. I think I've realized in the last couple of months that I cannot give up a normal job because I'm not willing to do or act the way you have to in order to do this full time. Frankly, I don't think that that'll continue forever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think the people who are doing this full time, frankly, care, which is fine. You don't have to care. I've admitted I don't care recently. But in the sense of the second this is not profitable for them or as profitable, and there's something else they can sell you shoes, vapes, NFTs, crypto, some new thing, VR, you know, if VR ends up being a thing again, people actually give a shit. You can buy virtual land. A lot of people will move to that industry and they'll hype up the newest NFT, the newest virtual product, newest X, Y, and Z, and they'll move on from sports cards because they don't give a shit. And that's a lot of people who do this full time, and that's fine. I'm not being critical of that. If your only interest in this is financial, I get it. So, you know, I have fallen into the trap, quote unquote, of actually liking sports cards. I do like sports cards. I like money too, and that's fine. But I'm not willing to fully give up those morals. I know it's really bad. How dare I have morals these days? I'm not willing to give up all of them, just enough of them to be financially successful in this industry and also still caring as much as I can. Also, going back to Whatnot, I was on Whatnot 4 years ago. I was one of their first sponsors. So there's my morals corrupted because Whatnot is not the best platform per se for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. I think every week or so, there's probably another scam or issue coming out of that platform. So the bar is quite low. Could probably reach it, you know, if I don't scam people and if I don't scam people and, don't rip people off a ton, I guess that's okay. Bar is quite low. I can at least meet that level. There was a one of one select Yamin Yamal select black that was hit by a breaker, and he was going to steal it and keep it and never give it to anyone. But the public backlash got him to give up that item. 99% of the time, that will not happen. The breaker will keep it, or the person will never get their card. And okay, there's no consequences for your actions per se. Like, if I really, really wanted to, or they really, really wanted to, per se, I guess I just said I did not steal the Yamin Yamal Prism 101. I'm 98% confident in that fact. No, but like, if you really wanted to, you could just make another Whatnot account or an Instagram or a profile. You're not traveling to shows anyway, which a lot of the people who scam and steal probably can't do. A lot of them still make appearances at shows, of course, because no one gives a shit. You know, just change your name, move on. It's fine. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. But yeah, gonna go back to Whatnot, give it a chance. That is going to probably happen late 2024, maybe early 2025, just based on a couple of, once again, factors outside of the sports card world, get some assets together, get Speedy up and running, focus my time on that. And eventually, when we're ready to fully launch, probably dedicate an episode or a part of an episode to that. It's in a pretty decent spot right now. There's a couple of issues with like actual design. It's not client facing. I don't really feel super confident pulling it up and showing you guys. I know we did a couple weeks ago with Kai, but still needs some work. It's basically in the development cycle now where I can use it because I created it with its bugs and its weird fixes and stuff like that. And it's pretty good, but we need to make it better, and then we'll launch. And then my game plan, I'm going to tell you the game plan because it's very simple. Buy low end, maybe not value boxes, but buy $5 to $10 cards people don't really want to process and deal with. Buy them in bulk, run them through my AI technology tool, sell them, package them, generate profit weekly, every other day, every 3 days, whatever it's going to be. As much inventory as I can procure and do in pretty decent fashion. Generate money like that. Buy low to medium end, $50, $100, $200 cards. Turn that over, maybe on Whatnot, maybe Instagram, maybe Discord. Turn that stuff over. Buy high-end cards. Flip those at shows or any Instagram, trades, sales, whatever. Just keep it rolling. I'm basically building the infrastructure now to feed into itself because that is, in my opinion, the most sustainable way. I'm not really willing to play in the high-end pool at the moment because I might be buying a house, and that is more important to me by far. And that is, I don't want to live in a cardboard house. I want to live in a real one and a nice one. So, was also paying off a wedding for the last year as well. So it's almost like assets were pulled from a business to pay for more important things. A wedding, another entity, a house. It's pretty important things that like real life goes on with. So, yeah, want to feed into itself. Use the AI technology tool I built. Buy low end, promote that tool, have people pay for it, let that start to generate income itself, which then feeds into the paid advertising of that tool. Let that keep growing. Let that keep growing. Oh my God, the low end's working. Hey, the medium end now is starting to generate income. Now the high end is flipping. There's a methodical, intelligent, thought out process to all of this. I know that's unusual for sports card people to hear thought provoking, intelligent content. I'm not telling you to hashtag buy your favorite QB investment, which seems to all be down every week. But, I was checking a comp today of a card. It was a Jalen Hurts pink Prism Auto. And there was a sale of a PSA 10 at $900. I'm like, oh, cool. That's awesome. Went for auction 2 days ago. So this is October 8th. It ended on October 6th at 6:30. And the last sale, I believe, was like late September. I'll throw it on screen if I recall finding it. It's pretty bad. Like, Jalen Hurts has not been good, but like that instance there, that card is down 50% in 2 weeks. It's not the best time to be buying QBs. Give me time soon to buy QB stuff like that. If prices continue to drop and you have some, free money available to actually hashtag invest and wait again, because the hype cycle of NFL is the NFL hype cycle for QBs is probably up there with NBA. Baseball is really weird. Bowman Chrome is the only thing you can hashtag invest in for baseball. Topps Chrome too, but like Bowman is the superior thing by far. Topps is fine, but like Bowman's where it's at. Bowman, you just got to have the guy at the right time, whether it's spring training, he's possibly going to make the 40-man roster, he's possibly going to be on opening day roster, he's possibly going to be like the new incumbent third baseman because their MLB guy is on a new team now and he's slotting in there. He's so good. He's so sexy. We love him. He's a 19-year-old kid from the DR. We got to buy his card right now, and it spikes or hits a home run. Yeah, like the first like couple days of spring training, maybe, or the last couple days before the season starts is when you have that hot shot prospect, you sell. It doesn't even matter now. If they play well in their debut and like go for their first couple weeks, sure, you might have sold a little too early. Hashtag the podcast. But generally, they end up being like, okay. Like for instance, I don't even know this off the top of my head. So we're gonna check. Dylan Cruz was that hot shot prospect. He got called up for the Nationals. Had a cup of coffee, basically, per se. I'm not sure how long he was in the MLB for. If my mouse wants to work, I can check how long he's been in the MLB, but I imagine it's under 50 games. I imagine he'll be a rookie next year. Jesus Christ, the mouse is actually dead. I can't do anything right now. This is some technical difficulties here, folks. He played only 31 games, 112 at-bats at 22 years old. He did fine. I mean, you first couple of MLB, 218 batting average, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, 288 on base percentage, 82 OPS plus. He was a below average league hitter in his first 30 games. Whatever, that's fine. Guarantee you his price has dropped. Don't even have to check that one. I would love to if my performance anxiety mouse could work. I'll guarantee you those prices dropped from before he got called up. For every single hotshot prospect who comes up and does well, there's dozens and dozens of Jackson Hollidays, Dylan Cruzes. I'm trying to think of another hotshot prospect who came up and did not do amazing. Most of them will not do super amazing. Yeah, a Paul Skeens can happen. It's awesome. It's not the norm. Do you want to win most of the time you make a deal, or do you want to gamble? I'm trying to tell you how to do things correctly most of the time. Not all the time, but most. Because I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you win or lose. I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. So if you want to listen to that, go for it. If you want to gamble, go gamble. I don't give a shit. But I can tell you I've sold millions of dollars of cards in less than a decade, and that includes pre-COVID when you probably were not even in sports cards anyway. So, I mean, I practice what I preach. Paid a lot of taxes as a result. Probably better at it than most people, so I don't know. I might know a thing or two. Probably don't. Probably a fucking idiot, but you know, I'm the one with the stupid podcast. Hey, the mouse works. Cool. You've returned to being acceptable. I don't even bother pulling up Cruz stats anymore. Who gives a shit? Yeah, I don't know. We're just kind of in like an interesting spot. Fanatics Fest in Orlando is 3 weeks away. If it's still there, not good. It's not looking good for Orlando or Florida in general. Legitimately could see this being an issue. Not even like as a joke, like legitimately, I could see this being a serious issue. So, I mean, you know, I don't have high hopes for Dallas, which I'm attending because I have tables in my name and I'm buying more tables and going to be selling those tables in 2025 and generating income from that. The point still is, you know, going to be an okay show. We do fine. Expect to be able to buy a little bit more because I will be a slightly larger fish in a slightly smaller pond. The hype beast influencers and people who are intelligent. I know those are two separate entities. Hype beast influencers is one circle, intelligent people in the other. They don't really mix a ton. There's some who do. There's not a ton of mix over there. Point is, smart people going to Orlando. Me, fucking idiot, Dallas, Texas. It'll be okay time. Like, I'm not excited. Not really happy. Just it's work. Got to do it. Like, just roll up the sleeves. Gotta get it done. And that's the fear of doing this full time, is when that feeling is eternal. You have to go and you have to sell. I would like to go. I would like to sell. I don't have to. Will I be happier if I sell cards? Of course I will. Can I afford my rent if I sell nothing? Of course I can. None of my money from my job goes into my business. It goes into the actual accounts that matter. If I don't sell cards, it's okay. I did this full time, I would need to sell cards. And that's when people take advantage of you in certain instances. Now, there's obviously cop outs, there's repacks, and there's buying the same 12 players everyone else does. I don't know. I've started to care less, started to open up the idea more to whatnot, and buying the same shit everyone else does, and paying the same percentages everyone else does, and being a robot like everyone else does. I don't, dude. It doesn't matter. The sports card industry is the most predictable thing ever. It's just so easy to see how this all goes, and the timing is going to eventually catch up with the Joe Burrows, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, the Jalen Hurts. Like, those players will get older, and if you're still buying those assets at some point in time, they're going to crash. If you're buying those to flip and not to own, you will get caught holding the bag at some point in some years. Not now, probably not now, but it will happen. And that's a conversation that has been repeated multiple times here recently. As those players age out of their primes, their prices will drop accordingly. It just happens. Aaron Rodgers, one of the most talented QBs ever to play, looking pretty immortal right now at 40 years old. Where do you think his prices are at these days? Probably down a smidge, I would say. Probably a good amount down. Let's check the old card ladder real quick, since I've now have the ability to use my mouse like a good boy, because my performance anxiety on my computer has seemingly passed. Let's see. Aaron Rodgers in 2 years down 68%. Cool. In the last year, 31%. Last 6 months, okay, up 4%. I guess it's kind of neat. 3 months, 5%. I mean, that did spike there. Last month, basically flat. The point is, a year ago. That's not good. Can I find specific cards of him? Yes, my index is Will Levis. Obviously, I'm preying on his downfall. That's the 1%. Let's do Aaron Rodgers rookies. I want to see something with a pretty consistent comp. Contenders autos. Let's try this one. No sales in a year. 2 years? Down 41% 2 years. Cool. I mean, there's 9 sales in 2 years. That's not a ton. Rookie autographs raw. Down 29% 2 years. I mean, there's one spike outlier. Exquisite up 3% in 2 years with 4 sales. Not super useful. And the thing to remember too, obviously, is Rodgers has way less RPAs or rookie cards in general of Burrow, Allen, Herbert, X, Y, and Z. You get the idea? Like, what do you reasonably think is going to happen here? Down 42% in 2 years, 10 sales. 1 year. No, 1 year it's up. There you go. And 3 data points. I'm wrong. But that's 9, 5, 10. It could be different subgrades and everything else. But I can be crow there. I'm wrong in this instance on that particular one. Which Rodgers card has a good amount of comps? Probably not going to be a ton. Not going to be a ton here. Who is someone who has done fine? Josh Allen, where you at these days, Josh? Oops, I need the ladder. Did the wrong thing. Shocking. I did the wrong thing. Josh Allen, how you doing? I want to look at his Prism cards, actually. I'd Prism as the guideline here for these newer players because it's pretty universal. It's a good guide conversation. Obviously, there's outliers with all cards. His RPAs could be up 40%, but his Prism could be down 30%. Just conversation. You know the idea. Josh Allen is down 71% on his base Prisms in 2 years. In the last year, 31%. Fantastic. Red, white, blue, down 26% on the PSA 9s. PSA 10s, down 3%, basically flat. 2 years, 46%. He's going to need a Super Bowl. If he doesn't get a Super Bowl, it's not looking good. Joe Burrow, let's see. I imagine he spiked a little bit because of those 5 touchdowns, but maybe he didn't. Disco PSA 10, down 7% in 2 years. Last year, down 20%. Silver PSA 9s, down 3% in a year. 2 years, down 1%. Basically flat. Okay. I guess you take that. 6 months, down 26%, though. Jesus Christ. Wow. 3 months, down 20%. Cool. Love to see that. XRC Redemption PSA 10s, down 13% in 3 months. 14% in 6. 36% in a year. It's happening. It's gonna happen more. It's gonna be more extreme one of these days. They're not all gonna win Super Bowls, win MVPs, or be future Hall of Famers. Lamar Jackson's a player I love. Lamar Jackson's a future Hall of Famer right now, in my opinion. I will go to bat for that one. 2 MVPs is something you really can't keep out of the Hall unless like he just falls off a goddamn cliff tomorrow. But even then, Lamar, up 40% in a year. Okay. Call me fucking Jeff Wilson then. 6 months, 32% on the base Prism 10s. 3 months, 35%. Month, 3%. Okay. Probably Jeff Wilson on some of those. I got one right. Lamar Jackson, Silver Prism 9s, up 35% in 3 months. 6 months, 58%. Last year, 89%. Holy shit. This card went up. That's not normal. Not these days. Anything else with solid, consistent comps? This is Pop 13, 51% a year. Wild. Insane sale. Perfect timing to sell that one. $4,500. And it was $1,500 November 2023. Crazy. Silver 10s, not a ton of them. Pop 28. That's one thing to keep in mind too with Lamar's cards. His card's gonna be low pop just because of the Prism design of that year and the quality control. The base is Pop 750. That's Pop 750's not no, but Silver 9 is only 94. That's crazy. What was I checking again? I was seeing Silver 10s. Silver 10s up 20% a year. Down 20% in 2 years is crazy. Wow. What about all time? Okay. Oh my god. Holy fuck. That did 16 grand in 2020. Okay. That's pretty nuclear. And they're down to 2 grand today, roughly. Damn. That's yeah, when I talk about like QBs being down 90% from their peak, I mean instances like that. Pretty bad outlier. Pretty bad time to be that guy. God, this is something that obviously kind of will do a lot in the podcast, but like you could sit around for hours just looking at this. $2,500 XR red, white, blue Prism PSA 10 Lamar $400 card today, $450. Like you can do this for hours. Base 10s peaked at $2,500, $3,500. $270 now. That's down 90% from the peak. Obviously, there's an exaggeration there, but there are sales. People fucking paid this. They did. There's so many sales in this area. That's down 90%. Just wild, dude. It's just like we deserve it. Our industry deserves it. Like we really do. We deserve all the bad things that have happened in our industry because we allow shit like this to happen. We do. We are only allowed to blame ourselves. Is that good? No. Are we going to keep doing it? Sure. Wait until Caleb Williams kabooms come out. Jaden Daniels. Drake May, who's now the QB1 in New England. Bo Nix, Michael Penix. Well, Michael Penix will be the value play there because, you know. Can I see their XRC sales actually? I have to check real quick. Jaden Daniels XRC. Ooh, hang on. Hang on, we're gonna pull this up real quick. 85 sales. That's good enough for me to check a data point. Like, it's gonna happen again. It just is. We know how this thing goes. Jane Daniels, $600 right here. QB2, actual redemption of the card. $4,100 for the tie-dye. 36 tie-dye. $3,000, $3,000. $1,350. This just sold. Did it go down 50% in 2 days? That can't be. Either this person just fucked up the market for everyone, or it's not a real comp. It can't be. That can't be real. Yeah, unless that person's a fucking idiot. Because then you get the NPC being like, that comp is 600. I'll give you 5. I'll give you 525, bro. Leave me some meat on the bone, bro. Like, they all sound the exact same. They do. Everyone sounds the exact same with this shit. And like, I don't care. I don't care. Because guess what? If they don't like me, I have cards at 88% of comps. They'll buy it anyway. It doesn't matter anymore. Okay, so the $600 comp is clearly the outlier because 9, 10, 3 hours left, 9:05, 6 hours left. That person could have fucked up for everyone. I don't know why he would have accepted that offer unless I'm missing something. Oh, I get it. Okay, he probably listed it for $600. What a stupid asshole. That sold today at 12:20. You got any more goodies out there? Any more steals? You do not, it appears like you have a bunch of memorabilia. That's probably why it sold for what it did. This guy has no idea what the hell he owned. What other goodies have you sold, my good sir? Okay. Victor Wembanyama, CJ Stroud. Messi's cool. He's got cards. I don't know who this is, but he done goofed on the Jane Daniels. He sold decent stuff though. MJ signed jersey. Yeah, good stuff. Might have just goofed on the first one. Okay, fair enough. So, last comp is 6. Give you 5. Leave some meat on the bone for me, bro. Come on, man. Let me eat. I'm cash heavy, man. Let me cash you out, bro. All the other things I can say because I have no personality and ability to actually, think as a human being. Anyway, buying heavy, bro, paying this percent of comps. Let me cash you out, lay all the hundreds on the table. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't care. I just don't. Frankly, the goal in all of this, truthfully, is get enough money and assets together, disappear off Instagram, and this podcast. Just make you believe I'd never existed in sports cards. That's the goal. I don't need your admiration. I don't need your fanboys, which a lot of people apparently do in our industry. I think a good amount of the influencers in our industry just need that approval from men. Not even women, just men. They need approval from men. I don't know why. I think that it's fine. Go for it. My goal is very simple. Get what I need, make you think I never appeared. Make you question if extraordinary cards, funny small doses, the Soul Certainly podcast was ever a thing. That's my goal. This shit does not matter. The cards are fun, the industry's cool. This is what matters at the end of the day. It's my ability to generate income I need, my ability to give my wife the life she deserves, my future kids one day to have whatever they need and want. I don't need men's approval. I need mine. Yeah, that's I don't know, man. These episodes without Kai are always unhinged. And I have to be careful of that. But yeah, it's about how I'm feeling these days. Mitch, I'm already in a funk. At least I'm being real about it. Yeah, it's really all I got right now. I will get a speedy update hopefully soon. Hopefully, can talk about that on Soul Too Early some more. And yeah, gonna go fucking shill cards on Whatnot or sell $1 cards for $28 on Whatnot, like every good streamer does. So make sure you follow and hit the subscribe button. I actually will be on Whatnot at some point in time whenever I figure it out and like want to do it. And I will be playing a caricature. I will be playing I'm gonna get the sunglasses out and the shades. Be like, come on, bro, it's a PSA 20. Hang on, we're gonna be Whatnot real quick, and then we're gonna end the episode. Come on, guys, it's future NFL starting quarterback Mason Rudolph. Let's fucking go. You gotta get it right now. You gotta bid right now like your fucking kids' lives depend on it. You have to bid this instant or the universe and all the cosmic stars are gonna fade away. Make sure you bid right now. How's that? Give me a score, 1 to 10. I'm going to be dog shit at this or the best. I don't know what's gonna happen. But make sure you bid on the Mason Rudolph so that you can find out in the next podcast episode. Unless I get yelled at by Kai, which is completely fucking valid. But yeah, that's what I got. Hopefully Kai's back next time. That's what matters. Let's be real. That's what I care about a lot more. I love Kai. Kai, I don't know. Feel bad for him. Feel bad for his family. It's obviously horrible. So yeah, bye.